گزارش تلویزیون فاکس نیوز درباره سفر وزیر خارجه آمریکا به منطقه و اجلاس جهانی به میزبانی آمریکا و لهستان در ورشو 12 ژانویه 2019. خانم مریم رجوی گفته است راه حل قطعی برای خلاصی از فاشیسم دینی تغییر این رژیم نامشروع به دست مردم و مقاومت ایران است. وزیر خارجه آمریکا: ما فعالیت‌های شرورانه رژیم جمهوری اسلامی را بررسی می‌کنیم. ما از تمامی قدرت آمریکا برای رسیدن به نتیجه استفاده خواهیم کرد. مارک دوبویتس، مدیر بنیاد دفاع از دموکراسی‌ها: من انتظار دارم ده‌ها کشور در لهستان حاضر شوند. حتی اروپایی‌ها که با خروج پرزیدنت ترامپ از توافق اتمی مخالف بودند، در میابند که رژیم جمهوری اسلامی را باید متوقف کرد. مقامات در بلژیک و فرانسه 3 نفر را دستگیر کردند که در میان آنها یک دیپلمات رژیم ایران در طرح توطئه بمبگذاری در گردهمایی اپوزیسیون ایران در پاریس بود.
Well, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo continuing his 9-nation tour in the Middle East with a stop this weekend, today in fact, in Abu Dhabi. There he met with the commander of the U.S. forces in Afghanistan. This is the Pentagon has set plans in motion to withdraw troops from Syria, as the Secretary of State is reassuring our Arab allies about the president's plan and about the administration's ramping up its pressure on Iran.
We view the malign activity from the Islamic Republic of Iran, this revolutionary force in Iran, as creating enormous instability here in the region. And so part of that is making sure that Iran doesn't destabilize or continue to destabilize Syria. And so, yes, we will use the full power of the United States to achieve that outcome.
And as part of that power, the Secretary of State announced the U.S. will host a world summit on Iran next month. That will happen in Poland. All to focus on curbing that country's increasing influence in the region. And as you probably know, we recently learned the regime is holding a U.S. Navy veteran. His mother just made a plea for his release. Iran is on the top list of the state sponsor of terrorism in the world. Mark Dubowitz joins us, CEO of the Foundation for the Defense of Democracy. So, Mark, this meeting, starting February 13th in Poland, will help create, they hope, Arab NATO. Do you think the Gulf states, the Sunni Arab allies, and the European nations that just slap more sanctions against Iran, do you think they can all unite against that regime?
And you get a sense from the Gulf, from countries around the world, that there is deep concern for what Secretary Pompeo rightly calls the destructive and malign activities of the Islamic Republic of Iran. So I would expect dozens of countries to be in Poland to talk about these destructive activities. And I think this is something that is necessary. And I think the Europeans, even the Europeans who've opposed President Trump's decision to withdraw from the nuclear deal, understand that the Islamic Republic needs to be stopped.
So what do you expect that could happen out of this meeting if indeed the Europeans don't want to give up the dough?
Well, I think the Europeans are acknowledging the reality. They have very little choice. And I think there just needs to be a common understanding that regardless of your position on the Iran nuclear deal, I think dozens of countries, including the Europeans, understand the Iranian regime is engaged in assassinations and support for terrorism and building ballistic missiles capable of carrying a nuclear warhead, including ICBMs, to target the United States and other countries, and not to mention brutal human rights abuses within Iran. So I think that there is a broader understanding amongst dozens of countries, including the Europeans, that those aspects of Iran's malign activities need to be addressed immediately.
Let me show you some video of the big meeting by the largest opposition group, the National Council of Resistance of Iran. They hold this huge rally. There's Maryam Rajavi, who's the head of that group. They hold this huge rally just outside of Paris every year. And authorities in Belgium and in France, they've arrested 3 people, including an Iranian diplomat, in an alleged plot to bomb, that Iran was going to bomb that rally. And it included a lot of former U.S. officials, including Rudy Giuliani, who speak every year at that group. So you've got a potential assassination plan right there in France allegedly directed by Tehran. And here's what Ms. Rajavi says about Secretary Pompeo. Quote, the U.S. Secretary of State reiterated that when America partners with enemies such as the mullahs, they advance. Gaining access to weapons of mass destruction, violations of human rights, export of fundamentalism and terrorism are the four pillars holding up the theocratic regime ruling Iran. The ultimate solution for discarding the mullahs' religious fascism is changing this illegitimate regime at the hands of the Iranian people and resistance. Can that ever be done?